Okay, so activity 4 for lesson 5, this can be a little bit confusing for some because right now we have to debug, but we can't show this in the block form because these have not been entered correctly. So we're going to have to do everything in text. Okay, so we're going to change this around so that these will work properly, and then we can actually flip them back to blocks once they are actually coded correctly. But for currently right now, they are not coded correctly, and so we have to do everything in text. So as this program has multiple errors caused by bad variable names. The errors prevent the program from being viewed in block mode, so the code is in text. Below are a few rules for naming variables. And these go across all coding languages. When you do a variable, variables are very common in coding. We want to make sure that these are the rules for them. You can't have labels. Labels cannot have spaces. So a variable name or a label, what we're calling it here, the variable label, cannot have any spaces. Okay, so we know that this one right here will not work. And we can do a couple things with this. We could just eliminate the spaces if we want, or the better thing would be to do an underscore like this. All right, so now size of circle, notice that changed this. However, it looks like down here, these are now not correct. So these have to match. If we don't have these match, they will not work. So we're gonna go ahead and put an underscore for this one, and we'll put an underscore for this one, and then we have another one here as well. Underscore, and then one more here, an underscore. Okay, so now size of circle looks like that's correct. Now let's go ahead and take a look at one dimension. Now it does say that labels can't start with a number. Okay, so this is a problem. We can't have this start with a number. So let's go ahead and type out 1 instead of just having the number 1 there. And we'll do that for here as well. And I think that's the only one that affects. And notice that kind of fixed that for us a little bit. So now these are no longer yellow marked and they're fixed. However, we have one more error. It's not really an error, it's just kind of a concern. And it says capitalization and spelling must be exactly the same. So currently this will not work because the Y in Y location up here is lowercase. Okay, and actually, you know, this is a good thing to do. You generally don't want to have a variable have back-to-back uppercase letters. Anyways, it gets kind of confusing when you look at it. So we'll now do Y and then the capital L for location, and then that fixes it for us. And you just have to go through and just fix these to make sure they work correctly, and then we can always go back and show the blocks now if we wanted to, or we can do this in text, which would be a really good way to program. But that's all you have to do for this, and then it should run, and there's our circle in the proper location, and that's all fixed. Hopefully that helps you. This one can be a little confusing, but I think hopefully walking this through with you helped a little bit. Good luck.